Hello, everybody. We got another headcannon in the house. Yes, you heard me. It's headcannon o'clock time. And we're going to be taking a look at... Yes! It's another one of Rob the Canadian National Northern Seas. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, we're taking a look at more of Rob the Canadian National Northern Seas. Now I know what you're thinking. What soda engines are we taking a look at this time? Well, not quite. Well, get ready because we're taking a trip back to Big City Port as we take a look at more of his tugs OCs. If you remember last time, we took a look at Gavin. And we're going to be taking a look at his OCs. Union, Kenzo, Union, Marco, and Kenzo. So, let's get it. So, Union, as you can see here, he's known as Union, the Dock Railway Express engine. And in case you're wondering, yeah, he decided to make some more steam engines because, well, maybe Puffa and Little Owl were not enough for him. Anyways, let's get into Union's origin story. So he used to work back on the Union Railway. It was numbered 823. He tackled pulling heavy passenger trains and heavy goods trains easily, and he got on very well with 844. And then years later, he was bought by Big City Port and now works as their main express engine. So that's his origin story. I might as well get into my take on him. So I like to think that when he first... Puffa and Little Owl are surprised at him because he's a tender engine, and a big one at that. And before we continue, I just want to note that he has like a little bit of a pencil mustache, kind of like what Rexeljet did with Jennings. Just letting you know. Now, before I get into the whole thing with him, Puffa and Little Owl, I like to think that he used to work back on the Union Railway for all of his life until he was withdrawn from service and acquired by Big City Port. Puffa and Little Owl are shocked at just the are shocked and surprised at this colossal engine working with them. And Union's just like, oh, don't see me as intimidating. I'm just trying to be helpful here. Now Union's as happy as can be working at Big City Port. Puffa and Little Owl have gained great respect for him. Now he works as their main express engine. And gets along quite well with the Star Tugs. And some might say that Top Hat has gained an interest for him. Now on to Marco, the Mexican engine. Now, like I said, he's from Mexico, and let's go over his origin story. So he used to work on the National Mexican Railway. something like that, along with Carlos, until years later he was acquired by Big City Port and now works there. I like to think that he works as a mixed traffic engine, meaning that he can pull both coaches and trucks. So that's his origin story. I might as well get into my take on him. I like to think that since he is from Mexico, maybe Big City Port was expecting some deliveries from Mexico and surprised to see this engine coming there. Once he dropped off the goods, he told them that he could not go back, as most of his friends and classmates have been withdrawn from service because of the whole modernization plan. And so he was bought and now works there to this day. He is great friends with everyone and manages to put a smile on everyone's faces. Now then, on to Kenzo, the Japanese engine. Basically the biggest tank engine to work at Big City Port in his age. Now here's his origin story. He used to work all the way back in Japan with some of his classmates and even some of his friends like Hiro, Haruto, and Ichiro. Oh wait, I just noticed there's somebody there. And then years later, he was acquired by Big City Port. And now works as an engine hauling parts for others. I believe so. Now then, I might as well get into my take on him. Considering that what was happening with some steam engines, my line of thinking is that Kenzo is likely due to be scrapped. However, arrangements were made with Big City Port before anyone can make local arrangements with the scrapyard. And so, Kenzo was bought and arrived at Big City Port. And when he arrives, Papa and Little Owl are happy to see him because he's a tank engine, and a big one at that. You can tell how big he is compared to the both of them. And given that Japanese engines were built to meter gauge, I like to think that he was re-gauged so that he could run on their track. He's a good worker, but can sometimes get a little competitive with the other engines and tugboats. But no matter the weather, he is just happy to help out others where and when he can. He often thinks about some of his old friends like Hiro, Haruto, and Ichiro. And he would occasionally get his crew to write letters to them to see how they're getting on. But he remembers that he has friends at Big City Port. He can call the big city his home. Well, there you go. And that's my headcanon for Union, Marco, and Kenzo. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.